Welcome to Abe Math Hunter. Our today's episode is about calculating present and future value at compound interest. Before we start, be sure you have with you your pen and paper so that you can have your jot down notes. Now let's start calculating present and future value at compound interest. To start with, let's have the learning objectives. Number 1, define compound amount and compound interest. Number 2, solve problems involving present value and future value. And number 3, compare simple and compound interest. Introduction. When people think of interest, they often think of debt. But interest can work in your favor. When you're earning it in on a money, you've saved and invest. Compound interest can be both a blessing or a curse. Compound interest will make a deposit or loan grow at a fast rate than simple interest. When you start off with the sum of money, but over the passage of time, interest is added. This implies to both deposit of money and loans of money. In this lesson, we break down the process of computation of the compound interest and discuss bank scenarios for further understanding of the topic. Illustrating compound interest. Say you borrowed 300 pesos from a friend today, and he will collect the payment after 4 days, and giving you 2% compound interest per day. How much will you pay after 4 days? Include amount up to 2 decimal value. Solution. The 2% of 300 is 6. The 2% of 306 and so on and so forth will be shown later for the computation. Day 1, we have 300 times 0.02. 300 is the borrowed money. Then the 0.02 is the 2% in compound interest per day. So we just simply multiply 300 to 0.02. Then we got 6. That's 6 pesos. Then the 6 pesos will be added to 300 as borrowed money or the payment. So we're going to pay your friend to 306 on the first day. But of course, on the second day, it will be added if you're going to pay it for the second day. That is the compound interest. You're going to add 6 pesos for the interest. For day 2, so we have 306 times 0.02. So we have an interest of 6.12. So as you can see guys, from 300 it will become 306. Then we multiply into 2% again for another day. So the payment that you're going to do with your friend or ang babayaran mo sa friend mo ay dadagdag yung 6.12. So 306 plus 6.12, that is 312.12. So yan yung babayaran mo ng day 2. Kapag day 2 magbabayad ka. Now let's go over to day 3. So 312.12 times 0.02, that's 6.24. So 6.24 na yung interest. As you can see guys, 6.24 na ang interest natin for the third day. Ito ay dadagdag na naman natin sa 312.12. So ang lumabas na sagot natin pag inad na natin ay 318.36. So kung day 3 pa lang ay gusto mo na siyang bayaran, ang babayaran mo sa kanya ay 318.36 sa day 3. Now let's go to day 4. So sa day 4, 318.36 times 0.02. So that is 6.38. So ang interest na ng 4 days ay 6.38. So ngayon idadagdag na naman yan sa principal amount. So ang principal amount na ay 318.36. So pag inad mo yan, 324.74 na. Yan ang babayaran mong buo sa friend mo. Okay? So 324.74, yan ang babayaran mo sa friend mo. Ngayon, i-define naman natin kung ano ba talaga tong compound interest. So what is the compound interest all about? Compound interest is also known as compounding interest. It is interest calculated on the initial principal, which also includes all of the accumulated interest of previous period of a deposit or loan, though to have originated in 17th century Italy. Compound interest can be thought of as interest on interest and will make a sum grow at a fast rate than simple interest, which is calculated only on the principal amount. Okay. So kasi nga ito ay yung interest ng inutang mo ay sasama sa principal amount ng inutang mo. Kumbaga katulad nung pinag-usapan natin kanina, di ba nga pinakita ko sa inyo yung 4 days pa lang na utang. Di ba? Umutang ka ng 300 sa friend mo tapos may tubo na 2%. So napakalaki, pumapatong ng pumapatong. Once na hindi ka nagbabayad per day, so patong yun ang patong, ang interest. Okay? So ganun ang compound interest. Kapag monthly, depende kasi yan sa usapan yung terms. Tinatawag natin doon ay terms. Kung per day, per month, per year. So, depende sa usapan ng ating interest. So, kaya ito tinatawag na interest on interest. Kasi, that interest is included to the principal amount that you borrowed. Okay? So, that's the compound interest all about. Now, let's have the formula. A is equal to P multiplied by 1 plus R over N. We raise to NT. Represents amount. P, principal amount. The R indicates the interest rate in a decimal point. The T indicates the time or the term. While N, number of times interest, is compounded per unit of time. Now let's have some important keynotes for the compound interest. Compound interest is interest calculated on the initial principal, which also includes all of the accumulated interest of previous period of a deposit or loan. Another keynote for the compound interest is calculated by multiplying the initial principal amount by 1 plus the annual interest rate raised to the number of compound period minus 1. Next is interest can be compounded on any given frequency schedule from continuous to daily to annually. When calculating compound interest, the number of compounding periods makes a significant difference. Actually, the greater the number of terms, the greater the compounding interest. Simple problem. If you deposit $4,000 into an account paying 6% annual interest, compounded quarterly, how much money will be in the account after 5 years? So the following givens are as follows. P is equal to 4,000. The interest rate is equal to 6% or 0.06. Then the N is 12. And then we have the term which is 5 years. So now we use the formula A is equal to P times 1 plus R over N raised to N times R. So we substitute the given value. So A now is equal to 4,000 multiplied by 1 plus 0.06 divided by 4 times the raised to the power of 20. So then we have 4,000 times 1.015 raised to 20. So our final answer is 5,387.42. So that is the money after 5 years. Now let's have another example. Let's say your goal is to end up with $10,000 in 5 years. And you can get an 8% interest rate on your savings, compounded monthly. So the formula that we use is P is equal to A over, closing up and parentheses, 1 plus R over N raised to NT. Then we substitute the given value. 10,000 over 1 plus 0.08 divided by 12 raised to 12 times 5. So the final answer is 6,712 and 10 cents. So in order for you to arrive with 10,000 in 5 years, you must start your investment into 6,712 and 10 cents. Let's have the comparison of simple and compound interest. Suppose you want to invest your 50,000 pesos. Which institution will you invest? A bank offers 3% compounded annually, or a cooperative who offers 3% simple interest rate per year. A preferred investment is 1 year or 5 years. Now let's have a computation for the simple interest in 1 year and 5 years. The following givens are P is equal to 50,000, R is 3% or 0.03, and N is equal to 1. Then we use the formula I is equal to PRT. Then we substitute the given value. 50,000 times 0.03 times 1. And I is equal to 1,500 pesos. So the future value then is we add up the principal value to the interest. So 50,000 plus 1,500, and that is 51,500. So the total earning now would be 1,500. So meaning the total amount that we have today for 1 year, probably for 1 year, that's 51,500. So the future value would be 51,500 from 50,000. Now let's go to 5 years investment. The same process, so we use IPRT. So we substitute the given value 50,000 times 0.03 times 5 years. So then we have 7,500. So the total earning would be 7,500 for 5 years. Then the future value would be 57,500. We just add up 7,500 to 50,000. So the total cash on hand on 5 years is 57,500. So meaning we earn a lot for 5 years. Okay? So that is for the simple interest. Now let's go over to compound interest. For the compound interest, we also have the same given. However, the formula of course is different from the simple interest. So we use the formula A is equal to P times closing open parenthesis 1 plus R over N raised to NP. Then we substitute the given value. So 50,000 multiplied by 1 plus 0.03. Then the N is 1. So the value now would be 51,500 for the 1 year. So this is only for 1 year. Now let's have the 5 years investment. The same formula for the 1 year investment. However, of course, the value would be different. So 50,000 times 1 plus 0.03 multiply with the raised to 5 power. Then the value now is 57,963 0.703715. So in this case, so it earns a lot from 5 years. However, if you're going to notice, the greater the number of term, the greater the return on investment for the compound interest. Now, let's compare the simple interest and compound interest in 1-year investment. As you can see, the simple interest and compound interest have the same future value. However, on 5 years, the compound interest have bigger interest than simple interest. So it's very obvious that 57,963 is bigger than 57,500. So now obviously, if we're going to invest in an institution or in a bank, we have to compute for the compound interest so that we can know if we are going to earn a lot from it. And don't forget and still remember that the greater the term, the greater the investment return. Okay? So the investment will be better if you're going to have a bigger term in investment. So now I'm presenting all the possible formulas in solving compound interest. So I hope you practice all of this so that you can have a good grade in mathematics, especially in the mathematics in the modern world. For further understanding, I have here a simple activity and I want you to solve for it by yourself so that you can have more practice and be equipped and knowledgeable enough in calculating your compound interest. Furthermore, I made a short quiz for you to solve for it and use the different formulas that I have been presented previously. Now I know that you are very much equipped in calculating simple interest and compound interest. The question now is, which is better if you loan? Simple interest or compound interest? And why? Why do you think so that this is a better way in having your loan? For the second question, which is better if you invest? Is it simple interest or compound interest? So, why? Why is it that it is simple interest or compound interest? So that's all for today, guys. I hope you learn a lot from simple and compound interest comparison. Specifically, if you're going to have your loan or investment. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share our page.
Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and share our video. Thank you. Bye-bye.